Well, hey everyone, thanks for joining us on King of the West Tonight. This evening we present the second part of our two-part series with National Sprint Car Hall of Famer Brent Kaeding. Kind of getting more of the business side of things with Brent and a little more personal touch, George. What we want to do with these two shows is to kind of introduce Brent Kaeding to fans that may not know him and a side that they may not have seen before.
Yeah, we get fans from all around the country, and they want to know more about Brent Kaeding. Mm-hmm. And I think the second part of this episode, you're going to see a little personal touch you probably don't see at the racetrack. In fact, I know you don't see it at the racetrack. And then again, the business side. Not everybody runs into their Kaeding Performance just to say hello, but that is a big business, and Kaeding's the man that keeps it all together.
Yeah, it really is. And before we get into our interview tonight, we're creeping closer and closer to the King of the West Series opener, April 20th at the Antioch Speedway. I know we're gearing up for it. Went to Antioch last week for the Civil War Series, and John Soares has that track in tip-top shape, so I'm excited about it.
Sure. I didn't make it to the World of Outlaw show at Antioch. I had some previous commitments, but you said it was one of the best racetracks you've ever seen, Gary.
Yeah, it really was. John Soares did a great job with the surface, and we always love going to Antioch. We're guaranteed excitement. We're looking forward to that, of course, April 20th. Now, before our 410 opener, we have the KWS Lights coming up. April 13th is the season opener for them. Before that, we have our play day this coming Saturday, so if anybody wants to come up and check the new track out, starts at 9 a.m. in the morning. We have a lot of stock cars out there. I know the Pro Stocks, Hobby Stocks, and
KWS Lights.
KWS Lights, different classes that make up the Fernley 95A Series are going to be there. Once again, this Saturday, the play day. Dan Simpson, as we mentioned last week, has done a ton of work at that place. I mean, they have a big rock shaker out there. They've got about 3 or 4 tractors going around there. I think we have footage of that Brandon took a couple weeks ago. So kind of a total rehaul of the racing surface. And
this is a test and tune, not only for the race car, but for the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really a brand new configuration, different dirt, different configuration, and we need a week to work it out. I think. Hey, Gary, we got to talk about our very own Dan Simpson's radio show.
Right. The last week was the inaugural episode, and of course you can catch it every Wednesday night, 5 p.m. I believe you have the radio station.
It's ESPN-KPLY, 6:30 a.m. on your dial in Reno, or on Wednesday nights you can catch it on Streama. But it's the Northern Nevada Motorsports Show with Dan Simpson. Hey, Gary, I know we're scheduled in for a couple episodes as well to talk about KWS.
And I believe all the information's on the screen right now. Of course, Stream, as we said, check it out on the internet, 5 p.m. Wednesday nights.
I can't wait. It's going to be another exciting episode in Nevada Motorsports.
Yep, and of course the play day this weekend, season opener for the 95A Series, April 13th, and then the King of the West 410s debut there May 17th and 18th. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up. Another exciting thing to get into is our interview with the man himself, Brent Kaeding, George.
Yeah, a true legend and a Hall of Famer. It was a privilege to get Brent to sit down for a couple hours and do these two parts and get to know the man a little more, bring you the real Brent Kaeding.
Yeah, let's get into it. Welcome back, everyone, to King of the West Tonight. Our guest this evening is Mr. Brent Kaeding. We're right here at Kaeding Performance, and switching gears a little bit to the business side, Brent. You guys have really built this place to be one of the major centers of speed, I guess, for sprint car racing on the West Coast. Can you tell us the origins behind Kaeding Performance and how all this great stuff got started?
Well, my dad and my uncle actually back in the 50s sometime, and they probably actually got a business license in 1960, and they were building wheels and roll bars back then. My Uncle Herb did most of the work here in the shop, but my dad was involved after hours mechanically. So it evolved where my uncle had passed away, and my dad started a automotive machine shop here, doing pretty much air-cooled motors at the time with a friend, Vern Harrington. And so revolution of that changed, and my brother, he came to work here, and then after that I started here. We started doing American-made stuff as well as air-cooled, and just kind of involved. And when I got to racing, we started dealing in a few race car parts. Dwayne Starr up at Tognotti's, we were kind of a satellite dealer of his. So Dwayne would build stuff and send it down to us, and we'd sell it to a lot of the local racers. In '85, we became a gambler dealer, and things kind of took off from there. We were, had the help of a friend make that initial investment, bought a few, gambler kits and parts and pieces, and the rest is history. We've been fortunate enough. We had a unfortunate fire in 2005, which burned us to the ground, and so since then we've been exclusive sprint car or speed shop, race car parts, no more machine shop. But it's been a lot of fun. you know, although working for yourself has, you know, it's positive and negative situations, but it's been fun.
You mentioned the fire. And I remember calling you a couple of days after the fire. You know, I think as many people that offered anything we could do to help. And I think you were pretty much overwhelmed by the number of phone calls and the people that wanted to help you get back on your feet. And that's a great story, just how fast you got everything turned around.
Yeah, no, we were fortunate, you know, to have, it's a great community. That's why, you know, I mentioned that earlier, you know, the people that you meet in this, you know, circle of motorsports. You know, yeah, the people came to help. A lot of people we didn't even know, you know, the good people at MPD at the time, Patty over there and her whole group. You know, they were here the next day with phone systems and fax machines and ice chests with food. You know, things you don't, you know, you're overwhelmed with.
Right.
Everything burn up in front of you, so.
I think you told me you were taking orders like 2 days after the fire.
Yeah, we were shipping 2 days later, and it actually burnt the entire building, you know, to the ground. The only thing we had was inventory in the parts trailer that we service the races with today. Wow. So fortunate that all the manufacturers stood behind us, you know, shipped us inventory, drop shipped, you know, actually,
somebody provided some space down the road, I believe.
Gave us terms. Yeah, we had people, you know, local business people giving us places. We had containers on site within a day, and yeah, so very fortunate.
You mentioned the people. We talked about people that helped you get things back in order, but I mean, this building, I think I remember talking to you a year or two ago, and the people that helped you put this building together, to put all of this together, all the friends in racing that are in construction, and just bent over backwards getting permits, everything to get this thing back together.
Yeah, they really did. You know, again, the community, whether it be helping get our business back started and going, and that, you know, that was involved with race fans and racers and manufacturers and people, I mean, worldwide. You know, we had Australians and New Zealanders here that worked for 2 weeks, extended their vacation just to help us rebuild and clean and do whatever. But there's a bomb which you'll see in the showroom that Mike Andrietta put together for us, and he had that painted up and all the logos put on it. All those people that are on that bomb were directly involved with helping us get this building back up. So yeah, very fortunate there with people that are involved here as businesses, or you know, people as far away as you know, Washington. We got a customer up there and a, you know, close friend, Vern Ringen, who actually, I mean, he sponsored us for the slab that this shop sits on. So real fortunate.
Incredible. Well, I think it just shows. I mean, a lot of people don't know, you help out racers, and I think it was just payback. I mean, it was. I mean, it comes around, and it's just like, I admire you when I see you with the kids. And we talked earlier about one special occasion at San Jose with Joshua, and I think spinal bifida, I think he's still. You said he's still going.
Yeah, yep. He's doing great.
That is a memorable experience I'll never forget. I think I told you that. To see that young man smile, as you had a special harness made for him, and you had him in the car, and you took him for a couple of real hot laps.
Yeah, I don't think his parents realized we were going to run around there at 100 miles an hour. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was a special moment for all of us. You know, it was for myself and Joshua, but I was really fortunate to be able to be the one. You know, I think I got as much out of it as he did.
I mean, you have a special niche with kids, and I really want to tell you how I admire you for that. It is really nice to see.
Well, thank you. You know, I mean, you just see how fortunate you are, and but then realize, you know, that how happy really they are. Hopefully, you know, give them some joy in that fashion, and you know, they can come out to the races and have a good time, and hopefully, you know, come back. I mean, it's always fun to have them out.
Absolutely.
got a brand new car this year right out of the box. The guys worked hard all winter. It's going to be a great season. This Gambler car is working real good, and we're going to kick some butt in 93.
Brent Kaeding getting lined up nicely going down the back straight. So conditions are looking good. Here they come off the corner. We got a broken steering box, and I lost the steering after about 10 laps, so I was just kind of hanging on. And boy, when the red flag came out, my tongue was hanging out. I was dead tired. I couldn't hardly turn it.
Bobby McMahon, 11.492. Here is McMahon challenging Lambert now as they continue their fight. The fourth place battle has been settled. The start of tonight's feature, the green is waving. Meitner the first man to the corner, but Kent on top. Meitner slides out of the groove as we've got Kent and Meitner wheel to wheel into the corner. Meitner goes sideways and spins. Green light is on. Bonet challenges on the inside. Glenn Bonet goes to the inside. Can Kent pull it back? No. Glenn Bonet on the inside. The white flag is out. Glenn Bonet and Brent Kaeding in the final lap. Can Bonet pull it off? What a day it would be as Kaeding rocket ships up and passes on the inside. He never played his head. Brent Kaeding kept it to the last. Your winner, BK, Brent Kaeding, as he takes it home in the checkered. The J.W. Hunt Los Gatos Body Shop, number 69, with Brent Kaeding at the helm, capturing his second Mini Gold Cup victory here at Silver Dollar Speedway. And promoter John Pageant standing by. Bob Gerald is down there.
Just fortunate enough that he slipped out. It's a little slicker on the outside, and we drove on by for the win.
Well, I bet it won't be the last one for this season.
Sure in the hell won't. We're going to be doing this quite a few times this year.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about the staff that you have built here at Kaeding Performance, because you really do have a first-class team of employees here that really make things happen. So, talking about some of the guys like BF and Brian and Joey Batts, of course.
Joey Batts.
Joey Batts, yeah.
Everybody knows Joey.
But I mean, you got Skippy and Linda. It really is just a first-class team that you put together here at Kaeding Performance.
Yeah, we're really, I'm fortunate. I've had, I think BF's been around since the 80s. He initially helped me on Bob Miller's team, and then became an employee here at Kaeding Performance. And I don't know, Brian's been here some 20 years. We don't even know. Since the fire, all those records are gone. Yeah. So nobody really knows how long they've been working here. But very fortunate. I got a knowledgeable group of people, that we're basically family, and that's something that we can offer that most other places can't. This is something we do week in and week out. All of us are at the racetrack working on race cars. And, Bud's been involved with the business now the last 4 or 5 years and doing the marketing side of it with the catalog and website and all our ads. So that's helped our business. And of course, everybody, any sales needs or information at the track. I mean, BF's a great supporter. He helps all the guys out at the racetracks. And Brian's got, unbelievable amount of knowledge. And then we got Skippy out in the back that's running, some of these youngsters and bringing them along. He's doing a great job. Not only does he prep and work on my car, then he's working with Kyle Larson, which we recently ran for 2 years, and Rico Abreu, and now he's heading up the team with Dominic Stelzy. So yeah, he's doing us a great job back there in the shop, and in his spare time he's building factory cane shock.
Well, you got to be multi-talented in this business. You just can't do one thing.
Oh yeah, you really do.
But everything. Hey, speaking of Kaeding Performance, where do you see Kaeding Performance 10, 15 years down the road? And well, I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with how do you see sprint car racing 5, 10, 15 years down the road?
Well, I think of course, like anything, the economy kind of dictates where we all go and where the sport goes. But us as racers, always find a way to continue to race if there's other things we have to do without. So it's really hard to say. Although with the King of the West series over the past couple of years, I think that's really helped the 410 series flourish, and which is great to see. Regionally, though, it's a small part of our business and what we do. We do our business has expanded, throughout the whole country in the past 10 years, and also overseas. So, I'd like to think things are just going to continue to grow. We're growing, each and every year, even though the economy has dipped. We continue to grow at a crazy rate that we have trouble keeping up with.
You mentioned Kyle Larson, Rico Abreu. That's something you guys have started the last, 5-6 years, is bringing these young kids in and kind of molding them. How much pride do you take in having kids like Kyle Larson and Rico Abreu, and now, of course, we said Dominic Selzy coming through the Kaeding stable? Having a lot of pride in that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I really do. It's been great. Fortunate to have some good people that helped us along the way to help Kyle. Which Rich Stallhofer is one of those guys. We're fortunate to have Rich as well as Kyle, help put that program together. And Kyle, as everybody's seen, he's loaded with talent, and he's doing a great job, and we wish him the best. We had a lot of fun with Rico, and Rico's a great talent again. He did us a great job. Again, the boys are doing all the work in the back of the shop, and I try to mentor them as far as how to build a race car and a successful car, and speak to each and one of the drivers and talk to them, mentor them along early. But after that, Skippy and Clark Riolo was helping out in the back there with both those teams, and he's helping some with Dominic. And so, I kind of get it rolling, and I am definitely proud of what we've done there, and hopefully Dominic goes on and has the same success. So,
well, speaking of Dominic,
there's another
we
kid
got a
too.
tweet. We got a tweet from Dominic, and he wanted us to ask you, who's your favorite of the young drivers you've mentored so far?
He says he's your favorite.
That's exactly what he said. Yes,
he was.
he was.
I think we're going to take another break and check out some more of those great old school highlights courtesy Grove Hill, another Brent Kaeding victory.
Looking for a green. Lindsey Casso once again gets the jump. Here, Randy Hannigan down on the bottom has the lead. Almost to the halfway point. It's still Randy Hannigan, your leader. Down the back straightaway, putting a lap on Jerry Bonema to give himself some breathing room between Brent Kaeding. Now Bonema slides back past it. Here comes Kaeding down to the bottom. Hannigan's hung out in the middle. BK sticks the nose in there. Hannigan shuts the door. Down the back straightaway. Hannigan too close for comfort. Uses a back. Brent Kaeding takes the lead. The 1 and the 58 stuck together. They won't break apart. And now they go into the infield, so we stay green. Brent Kaeding bicycling, doing a little dance, coming off of turn number 4. It is BK, Brent Kaeding, the winner.
How about tomorrow at Antioch? We're going to get you in victory lane again?
Hey, we're working on it. We keep getting closer and closer each night.
Brent Kaeding has to finish 7th or better in tonight's main event to win the Speed Week Championship. Paul McMahon and Kevin Pilot on the front row. We go green, and Paul McMahon of the Tri-C Engines, number 3, is off to the races in front. Huge, massive traffic is right in front of Paul McMahon. Right now trying to deal with Eric Rossi. Rossi keeps his momentum up on the outside. Everybody's fast when the track is hook them up fast like this. McMahon finally gets to the inside of Eric Rossi, and Paul McMahon is underneath him and down the back straightaway putting a lap on Rossi. It took him 23 years to win his first and only 9 days to get his second. Paul McMahon doesn't.
With his 3 victories, Kaeding became the series champion, edging out Kent by 16 points.
Welcome back to KWS Tonight. And Gary got to see a little different side of Brent Kaeding that segment.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I didn't know about Brent. He talked about the young man with spina bifida that he gave a nice ride, the ride of a life to at San Jose. And
I'll never forget that night. And I told him that is something that's it's etched in my memory. The smile on that young man's face when he came by.
Yeah, Brent's a great guy, and I hope everyone saw that there. But a couple of the highlights that we also showed was the CRA event at Bakersfield Speedway back in 1993. On last week's show, we talked about Brent's prowess in a non-wing car, and we got a little tidbit there, beating CRA at Bakersfield.
And that mini Gold Cup finish was pretty wild, too.
Yeah, him and Glenn Bonet. Yeah. For the whole main event, it looked like Glenn Bonet was going to be a mini Gold Cup champion, and right off of turn 2, that last lap, BK got him one of those patented BK snooker jobs there on the last lap.
How many times did Brent Kaeding do that over his career?
Unbelievable. It's absolutely fascinating how many times the guy has, right at the end, just come on and you know, something that people talk about as Brent is he's probably one of the smartest drivers there is.
Oh, absolutely. That's why he runs the business.
That's
and
right.
It's a successful business. He's a smart businessman and a smart racer.
He also talked about the other highlight package we showed, the 94 Speed Week, the final 2 races that season at Petaluma and Antioch.
Oh, yeah.
Brent won the main event in Petaluma, and then Paul McMahon won the finale. Of course, Paul's been doing a great job.
But I think it was one of his 5 Speed Week titles.
Speed Week titles. It started back in '92. Wow. Randy Tyner was the inaugural Speed Week champion with NARC, and Brent just dominated that thing for the better part of 10 years.
had a couple.
Yeah, Paul had one, Bobby had one, but every other year it seemed like it was BK taking the big prize.
It was that way back in the mid-'90s, the early '90s. It seemed like, you know, Brent was winning a lot of races, a lot of championships, and a lot of those special events like that he just got up on the wheel.
He really did. He dominated that, and we're now going to fast forward 11 years to 2005, an event at the Southern Oregon Speedway. Brent Kaeding battling with Stephen Allard, Sean Becker, and a familiar voice behind the microphone, I think.
Yeah, a really good announcer that went up to Medford that night. I think it was my first trip up to Medford.
One of those old-timers.
Yeah, the old-timers. Thank you. Thank you, Gary. But that was a great night, and another one of the unforgettable Brent Kaeding moments.
Definitely.
Let's check it out.
Buckle up, hold on to your girlfriend, your firstborn, or whatever, because it's about to come undone here. 22 cars, 30 laps, Golden State Challenge Series here from Southern Oregon Speedway. Stephen Allard on the point, Sean Becker on the outside, the number 10. Allard with a big jump on the start. Kaeding dives to the inside of Stephen Allard. The outside lane seems to be working well as Stephen Allard takes the lead off of turn number 4. Brent Kaeding is second. Sean Becker is third. The battle for fourth. Nutter and Jonathan Allard. Becker in third. Allard back to fourth. As Stephen Allard continues to lead. Now going to work on Jim Richardson. BK goes to the top. And Allard shuts the door. Now Brent Kaeding on the inside at turn 3 takes the lead. Stephen Allard with a problem on the 1 car. Slowing in turn 4 will bring out the yellow as he slides against the wall in turn 1. A flat right rear on the leader with a flat tire. The gentleman second in points sits right behind him, Sean Becker. They're 1-2 in the points. They're 1-2 as they come off of turn number 4. Brent Kaeding looks for the green flag. We have 12 laps down for Brent Kaeding as he continues to move forward. Trailer once again up off the high side of 4. And Sean Becker with a great move off of turn number 2 takes the lead away from Brent Kaeding. Kaeding now, the chasee on Sean Becker. Becker out front. Kaeding is now second. Third is Jonathan Allard in the 0. The 3N of Bill Nutter is fourth. BK right up in the rear Nerf bar as he goes to the high side in turn number 3. Let's see if he can make it work. He's way up on the cushion. BK tries to cross back down on the inside. Becker a little squirrely off of 4. Here comes BK on the inside. Slide in front of Becker. Retakes the lead. Brent Kaeding back out in front. Becker is second. Stephen Allard getting in the back of Becker, gone the back straightaway. I didn't know we drafted here at Southern Oregon Speedway. Now a huge lead for the Owls Roofing Supply entry, and the yellow flag. The yellow flag, the last thing that BK wanted to see. Aaron Linder out of Medford. Becker headed for the pit area. I look across the way, see a car upside down, don't know how it happened. Stadler, A-OK over there in turn number 2. The good news for the big guy from San Jose, your fast qualifier, defending Golden State champion. White flag for your leader, Brent Kaeding. Kaeding to make it 4 wins so far this season. The man has driven like BK of old. The Owls Roofing Supply Special off of turn number 4 picks up the win here at Southern Oregon Speedway. Jonathan Allard will finish 2nd. Kyle Hurst is 3rd. Roger Crockett is 4th. 5th to Kevin Pilot, and 6th to Dan Minnie.
Well, welcome back to KWS Tonight, and we're with Brent Kaeding here at Kaeding Performance. And Brent, let's talk a little bit about the 2013 season. You have the expanded schedule. We've got 28 races this year, 14 in California, 14 in Nevada. Little increased purse money for the Nevada races. How do you think that's all gonna work out for the series?
Well, right now I'm nothing but positive about it. You know, I mean, it's going to be a little bit farther drive for us. You know, probably add another hour to our furthest tow. We do have a hill to tow up over, but
I'm glad you call that a hill. I call that a big mountain.
A mountain,
That's
yeah.
kind of like big tow over there.
But I'm excited the fact that, you know, we've got a place in Tahoe now, so maybe I can sneak out Thursday night.
Vacation spot.
There you go.
Spend a little time there and blast back over there on Sunday. So maybe we get the whole group over there some weekend.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
It certainly seems like 410 racing is kind of grown the last few years, of course, since we talked about earlier, Dan Simpson took over. But, you know, how is the state of 410 racing in your mind now as opposed to 4 or 5 years ago?
I think it's in better shape. You know, I think everybody's, you know, concerned about maybe going over to Nevada for 14 events, 7 weekends. But it could work out and be a good thing. You know, it's, you know, got a lot of people talking about it anyways, if nothing else. And there's some interest, you know, it's getting some more interest from the guys over in that part of the country. And I know the guys in Sacramento aren't, you know, it's closer for them.
Absolutely, right.
Some of the tracks. So I know Dan's working hard on the racetrack over there, and we'll see what he comes up with, and, you know, see how this facility turns out. And we got, you know, Rattlesnake Raceway. I don't know.
Well, that's going to be a challenge.
That will be a challenge.
I hear it's a higher banked Placerville.
Oh, perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah, just well,
I
you
love
like
Placerville.
Yeah. I know, because
like jet fighters in a gymnasium. I think we say, you know.
I was just going to say, last year you picked up a win on June 30th at Placerville. And I think everybody in the booth and the stands and everybody was rooting for you on that night. And afterwards, the satisfaction and joy we saw when you got out of the car, it was great to see. And so that desire to win is still there.
It's still there. It just doesn't happen that often, but it's still there. You know, we're working as hard as ever, but, you know, some of our focus is now mentoring younger drivers, and so, and, you know, we're all getting older, you know, myself along with my guys, and spreading ourselves a little thin at times and trying to run, you know, it takes away from our program what we do. But if you look at the talent we got coming up, KWS, or if you look at the 360 series, I don't care if it's the USAC series or Taco Bravo or Civil War, you know, there's some young talent that is coming up, and these guys are tough. They're starting out with good equipment. So, you know, it's getting harder and harder, but I'm glad to hear it's similar to Placerville, so I can look forward to a couple wins in Nevada this year.
There you go.
Well, Jonathan Allard with 9 fast times. He also has the most heat race wins with 6. And he always has to start out on the outside of row number 3, so a tough road for Jonathan Allard if he's going to win this one. Some heavy competition out in front. Dennis Moore Jr. looking to go way up on the high side, but it is Matt Shelton with the good start. Baloo into that 2nd spot. And they're 3 wide and 2. Oh, upside down hard is Tommy Tarleton. Big time roll over Garrett Ishii. Over 3-4 times. A double flip on the back straightaway. And Tommy Tarleton looked like he is wanting to get out of that 21 car. Ladies and gentlemen, about ready to go green. Jonathan Allard and Blake Robertson on the point for Rhea, and Kaeding in row 2 Ronnie Day instead of in row 3. Kaeding went up the outside, making it 3 wide at the start. And it's Jonathan Allard with the good start. Down the back straightaway. Kaeding up on the high side, trying to get around Blake Robertson. Ronnie Day 5th. And your leader, Jonathan Allard, all by himself, spins in turn 2, dropping back to 4th spot. And Mike Faria looking to pick up a big one here in his hometown. He gets up alongside here at the start-finish line. Kaeding has found something up on the high side. He goes around the outside of Blake Robertson. They're side by side down the back straightaway. Drag race into 3. BK runs the top of the cushion. A problem with Mike Faria, bounces off the cushion, and BK takes the lead on lap number 20. Kaeding in traffic, trying to get around to her. Here comes Blake Robertson once again behind Brent Kaeding. Robertson, oh, traffic in front of Robertson. He crashes, drives through 2 red cars. Red flag is out. He is down the back straightaway. He is flying. They've got that Alzorific supply car hooked up, and BK smiling inside the helmet. His first win of the season. Brent Kaeding picks up the win here at the Pombo Sargent. Second goes to Blake Robertson. With Tommy Tarleton on the point, along with Jason York in that 25. Dennis Moore Jr., Craig Stidham make up row number 2. Robert Ballou and Ronnie Day in row 3. We hear the RPMs come up. Green flag is out, and we are underway. It's a drag race into turn number 1. They are side by side, and Jason York goes to the up over a wheel. There's our fast qualifier, Ronnie Day. Upside down in turn number 1, Ronnie Day, our fast qualifier.
He's on his 2 feet. Ronnie, how are you?
I'm all right. It's just unfortunate we got some squirrels out here that trying a little too hard. We'll try and get back together and see if we can get back in it.
Ricky Faria, Kyle Hurst, bring them down off of turn number 4. Danny Faria looks to go to the inside of Hurst in turn number 1, looking for that second spot. And your third, fifth, quick qualifier, Steve Kent, is in the 5th spot. Here comes Blake Robertson in that yellow 15. Going for second, 3 wide off of turn 4. And it looks like Hollywood. Danny Faria moves into second, but here comes Kyle Hurst back on the top side. They're side by side down the back. 3 wide on the back straightaway. Hold on, anything's gonna happen. And it's Blake Robertson into second. He gets a push, he gets spun around by Kyle Hurst. Does he keep it running? No. 6 laps, and this determines the top 4 rows of the A feature. And Robert Ballou with a bold move up on the high side, trying to take the lead away from, what a crossover by Robert Ballou to take the lead away from Dennis Moore Jr. Here comes Jonathan Allard up alongside of Ballou. Brent Kaeding is 3rd, Dennis Moore Jr. is 4th. This time, a little bobble by Ballou. This time it is, oh, it's a dead heat at the line. Anybody's race. Let's see if Ballou can pick up the pace in 2. He gets the big push off of 2. They're still side by side. They touch wheels, they crash, they're both stopped in turn 3. Ballou up in the wall, Allard keeps it running. Jonathan Allard pulls off the racetrack. Kent way up high in the loose stuff. He gets the push, he does. Steve Kent will finish second, Dennis Moore 3rd.
We'll see what happens. The track's quite a bit slicker, and we're going to be moving all over the place tonight.
The OK of Dennis Moore Jr. and Sean Becker in row 2, Allard and Faria in row 3 as we get ready to go 30 laps. The Pombo Sargent Classic here at Tulare. Kaeding all over the front straightaway. Kent goes to the inside. Kaeding stays to the high side. And we got a car tangled. It looks like it's Allard and Ballou. Ballou and Allard getting together in the dash. Now both cars involved in turn number 2. Kaeding and Kent. Kaeding a little squirrely on the front straightaway on that last start. This time Kent wants the push off. He loses big time trying to go up high. And let's see if Dennis Moore Jr. can make it pay off staying on the bottom of the racetrack. Dry and slippery in 1 and 2. Everybody gets by this time. Keep your eye on Robert Ballou and Jonathan Allard having to come from the back of the pack. Allard trying to move through the field, trying to get around Kyle Hurst. We've got a crash in turn 3. Kyle Hurst and Jonathan Allard also involved again in turn 3 and 4. Allard bends up the wing on the 0. Number 69, Brent Kaeding, gingerly taking it into 3, puts the power down off of 4. Twin checkered flags for Brent Kaeding. Back-to-back wins. Ronnie Day is second.
His name is Brent Kaeding, and he's talking to Ronnie Day. The 2 old farts up front.
That's what makes us keep on going, keep digging. You know, the younger guys keep getting better and better, and us older guys got to keep standing up.
Now this season, we're also going back to Petaluma and Santa Maria. Of course, you talked about. You were the 78 Rookie of the Year there. So I'm sure you're looking forward to getting back to those venues. We haven't been there in, 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, it's been quite some time, but we always enjoy going down there. You know, got a lot of great friends down there, great fan base from, well, see how many of them are left. It's been a while since I've been there, I guess. But, yeah, we're looking forward to that. And, of course, Petaluma, you know, get up there in that black gumbo, we'll see what it's all about. And everybody talks about the tide and what goes on. It's been a little different the last few times. But, yeah, it's always great to get back there, you know. We'd like to get to every facility and race everywhere, you know. We have a lot of great tracks here in California, and, you know, it's good that we can support them and KWS can visit those tracks.
And the Petaluma race is a tribute to Baylands, so we're going to try to bring back some of the old timers and bring a little history back to that event. So I'm sure you're excited to have that tribute to Baylands.
That'll be fun. The old timers. So you're going to get Chuck Gurney out there.
Yeah,
Talked about Chuck Gurney, right?
Right. We get Dave Vodden on the microphone.
Dave Vodden.
There we go.
Perfect.
Hey, back to the career. Your dad had a long career, raced into his 60s. I was there that last night at San Jose. It was great. Where do you see yourself going, and how much longer do you think you're going to be racing, or have you even thought about it? Maybe too young to think about it.
No, I'm not too young to think. I mean, I think about it. You know, when you're in your 40s, you think you might go till you're 45, and then you might go till you're 50 and 55, and so it's something I think about. I mean, I don't dwell on it like, hey, this is going to be my last year or whatever. We're still competitive. We're not winning the races we did win 5 years ago, you know, but we're having a good time doing it. We are competitive, and you know, I think back that, you know, maybe we shouldn't, you know, we're not winning the races, but there's guys that have been doing it for 10 and 20 years that I'm winning more races than they are. So, and they're 20 years younger than I am, or 10 years younger, or whatever. So as long as we keep enjoying it and having fun, we're going to keep doing it. But we have to stay competitive, or we'd stop. But you know, we can get in the top 5 every night and run hard. And, you know, just looking forward to doing that and mentor some of these young guys. You know, I mean, we're not ready to give up racing, but, you know, I'd like to continue bringing on the youngsters.
Hey, 35 years, long career so far. There are a lot of people that you need to thank along the way. We talked about a lot of them. I want to give you the opportunity to thank the folks that have kind of made this happen.
Wow. Yeah, we don't have that much time. You know, everybody out there, you know, I mean, I couldn't have done any of this without all the people, you know, whether it was the race fan helping me, or, you know, some of my best car owners, or any and all of my car owners, from the first one to Jim Smith all the way up to, you know, Al Peterson, who now is the large supporter of our team for the last 15 plus years. So I would have been done racing probably 5 years ago if it wasn't for Al, and real fortunate to have his support. But yeah, I got everybody to thank, even you, George.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, even me, right?
You guys have had your moments. I know.
No, we've had our moments. Yes, we have.
And we're not done.
No, I know we're not done. Again, it's been a pleasure being here at Kaeding Performance. When we come back, we'll tell you what's on tap for the upcoming weeks on KWS Tonight.
Well, hey, welcome back, everyone, to King of the West Tonight. And there you have it, some words with Brent Kaeding. A couple years in the making, George.
Well, I hope all the fans out there got to see the man, the Hall of Famer, the legend, and a really, truly a nice guy. And when he's at the racetrack, he's a competitor, and he's up on the wheel. But you get him away from the racetrack, he's kind of a little softy. He probably doesn't want us to say that.
Yeah, you know, as long as I've been alive and watched the races, I always see Brent Kaeding, the hard-nosed guy. That's always the big, tough guy, kind of the man in black. You know, kind of like the Dale Earnhardt of our sport out here.
Little weird comments on the start-finish line, maybe.
But getting to know the guy and the stuff people didn't see behind the scenes during that interview. And we were sitting there joking around and everything. And Brent really is just a great guy, a great ambassador for the sport, and real honor to sit down with him. We're hoping for the best for him this season. He, of course, won last year at Placerville, and I think he's going to be up on the wheel this year. I really do.
Yeah, he's been, third the last 2 years in the King of the West Series, and he wants another title as bad as anybody.
Yeah.
And he's consistent. The crew keeps him in those races. It wouldn't take much for him to be a 14-time champion.
A lot of people would kill to be third in points a couple years in a row. He
might
not win as much as he used to, but he's still consistent and he's still competitive. And he talked about that in the interview. He'll be racing as long as he's competitive, and he has been the last couple years for sure.
I tell you, he is the man, especially in California. That's why the media members picked him to go into the Hall of Fame, because of his accomplishments, not only in sprint cars, but everything else we talked about during the midgets and the stock cars and you name it, wing, non-wing. He could do it all.
Yep, definitely.
Still does it all.
Still does it all. He also saw a highlight package there from 2006, the Pombo Sargent Classic at Tulare Thunderbolt. And that was one of those years that Brent had not won a race entering that weekend, and he goes to Tulare and sweeps the event, one of his 11 career Pombo Sargent titles, most of anybody.
Can you believe that? Two drivers that his dad raced against, and that as a youngster he would go watch at San Jose Speedway, which he said was his favorite speedway, and around California, and to come back and win that tribute race 11 times. It's phenomenal.
It's amazing. You think about his son, Bud. He's got 3 Pombo Sargents. Tim has a couple. So those guys have won more than half the Pombo Sargents ever. One of the most prestigious events down in the Central Valley. Just another one of the accomplishments of the whole family.
Well, I think we said it. You put a special event, little money on the line, whether it be Trophy Cup or Pombo Sargent or Mini Gold Cup, the Kaedings get up on the wheel.
Definitely, they do. And once again, we want to thank Brent for taking the time. We hope everyone enjoyed that. And now, next week, we're going to have a sit-down interview with our boss, Dan Simpson, about all the great things that are happening up at the Reno Tahoe Fernley Speedway. When fans go there, they've never seen the facility look like it has now. I know they've done a ton of work up there with machines we talked about. It's just been unbelievable. We're going to get words with the man himself.
Well, and we talk about a lot here on the show, all the improvements that are going on and what's going on, and we get up there occasionally, but Dan's up there every day working with the equipment, working with the contractors, getting everything squared away. And believe me, when you try to revamp a facility and make it bigger and better and racier, it takes a lot of work. And Dan's going to give us that firsthand next week.
Yep, next week. Of course, we've said, once again, the play day is this Saturday, April 6th. If you want to go check it out, you're welcome to do so. There's $25 to get in the back gate. Hope to see everyone up there.
Hey, just to follow that up a little bit, we've heard that some of the owners and teams have been going up there to check it out. Dan's been giving them the tour of the facility, and they're pretty impressed.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess before we leave tonight, we, of course, have the World of Outlaws this weekend at Antioch Speedway and Calistoga Speedway. Hoping for another great time by our California guys.
I know you'll be there. I know you'll be there, but I'm going to be in Idaho looking for potatoes.
Finding a trailer, I believe, too.
Yeah, that too. Yes, absolutely.
Well, we want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Remember to keep up with the latest and greatest with the King of the West Sprint Car Series online at kwssprints.com. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and also subscribe to us on YouTube or email us, kwsseries@yahoo.com. And of course, you can call us at the office. I know I'll be here next week answering the phones as you'll be off playing in Idaho.
Yep.
Once again, we want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Catch us next Thursday with Dan Simpson on King of the West Tonight. Have a safe weekend. We'll see you at Antioch, Calistoga,